Well, hey everybody, it's me. It's Tuesday. It's 6 p.m. ish. There's a hurricane coming. I don't know. This thing working? I wonder. Can't hear anything. Hello, hello. You guys let me know if this thing's working. I got some weird stuff going on today. Oh, thank you. TK, what's up? Charlie Hustle, Trucker Tim, James Bond, Lisa. Life on 18 wheels. Oh man, acceleration rules. It's weird. I lost all the chat from earlier today. I don't know what happened to it all. I don't even know. It's like all gone. It's like it never happened. It's weird. But I do know that acceleration rules was first. Donna was second. Chris Hamilton was third. I remember seeing that before I went and took a nap. And I did take a nap. So that was cool. But yeah, so get this. I don't know if y'all heard about this thing, but apparently we got a little storm coming over here again. I don't know. Yeah, acceleration rules. For your next house, Charlie, I like that. Please move alongside a volcano. Right? I mean, because what else could go wrong at this point? Pete, what's up, buddy? I'm glad to see you. Yeah. Hey, look, there he is.
You're not paying attention, bro.
Wait, I have no sound. Why don't I have sound?
Can everybody else hear me?
Don't mess with me because I'm messing with dials.
Can everybody else hear me?
Why do I have no?
Let me know.
No sound at all. Something's gone horribly wrong. Hang on, hold on tight. This could be terrible.
All right, TK says he can hear
why.
me.
You're probably fine.
Charlie's failing.
I don't know why I have no sound. I gotta try and fix stuff.
Okay, so everybody's hearing me. Everybody's hearing Charlie. Just Charlie can't hear me. That's awesome. All right. So where is everybody today? I'm stuck in Florida. Well, no, I'm not in Florida anymore. I actually did make it up to Georgia finally. It took me. What was it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Why don't I have sound?
It actually took me to get from Toledo to the border of Georgia. Took me
hey Jeff, hold down
9 hours of drive time. Took me 9 hours of drive time.
I'm gonna try and reboot.
Yeah, Charlie, stop talking. He keeps talking over me, guys. I apologize for his rudeness.
I can hear nothing at all.
And he can't hear me anyway. So that's freaking amazing. Brian Jess is home since last week, tired of working. I'm with you there, brother. Man, somebody's saying hi, Dad. I assume that's Pete, since Charlie was saying hello to Pete just as I was coming in. I don't know, man. I logged in right at 6 o'clock, and he was already going, so I don't know. That was a little bit weird. Trucker Tim's in Ohio, 30 miles from Columbus. Might crash at the Swift terminal for the night. You know, I actually like that terminal. I know people have varying opinions about different terminals, and I don't know. It was just one of those places that I could always find parking, right?
I did a thing.
Are you alive now?
I did a thing.
You kept talking over me while I was talking to our people.
Hey, look,
and you were interrupting. Hey. You're in timeout because you keep talking over me. And he ducked out. He's gone.
I'm back. I fooled you. I had all of my sound muted, but everybody could hear me, so that was cool. Whatever. That's great. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, so there's this doctor lady down there in Tampa that's been doing lives on YouTube all day. She's fascinating, bro. She's like, yeah, some of her neighbors didn't evacuate on the last one, and it doesn't look like they're doing it this time, even though she lives in one of those mandatory evacuation zones. And she's just like, I don't know what to tell you at that point. You know, we just had one a week ago. Y'all almost drowned, and now they're telling you to leave again, and you're not. I don't know.
I get it. I don't leave.
But she was talking about what you were talking about with people, the medical profession. You know, they are told you will be at work tonight,
Yeah, it's crazy.
all of them. So what her plan is, I guess she's got two kids, and her husband's okay, but she's not sure what to do with the kids. So her plan. Last video I saw her post was that she was going to take her kids to work at the hospital, and they were going to have a camp out in the hallway because there's no windows in the hallway.
Sounds right. See, I'm not worried about us flooding this time, which is cool. Well, as long as it stays down in Tampa. I mean, if it follows the last path that I saw, we're gonna be all right. We're just gonna have I don't know, crazy wind, like 100+ mile an hour, but whatever. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're ready to bounce. Got everything packed up. We got most of our stuff packed up in the event that we need to go, like things that we actually need to take with us. Got some big totes ready.
So was it Millhouse the love interest of the daughter on The Simpsons or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Millhouse was from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that just clicked real quick for me. James Vaughn, insurance for DOT number. $25K a year will cost you $7K with $2,300 a month payments.
That's cheap.
Holy, that's high. That's cheap, James. That's cheap.
That's cheap for brand new DOT number.
Brand new DOT number. We've seen numbers as high as $50,000 a year. That's with truck and trailer, your own authority. Even a couple of years ago, remember, Charlie, I always tell people, because I have fears. I did not get my own authority in 21. We were talking about it. And the least expensive I could find.
Sorry.
The least expensive I could find for just tractor, just doing power only, right, was going to be $17,500 a year. So that was before we knew Mr. Tony Dennis at Seabright. So I don't know what he could tell us about that in today's market.
Hey, Tony.
So, yeah,
Hi, Tony, if you're there.
He called me today.
Yep.
Did he call you?
Yep.
Okay.
He knew you were still driving.
Yeah, it's funny. That guy. I mean, I got the Bluetooth.
Yeah. He's
out there.
Moving.
He's out there thrashing his fields, talking to us, and he won't let me drive my truck down the road on nice smooth roads. At today, 25 miles an hour. Dude, so the biggest thing, I saw a lot of rear end accidents today.
Yeah, I saw a lot last night trying to get home. That seemed to be what was going on. There was so many.
So the state of Florida had the left shoulder open, but not the right one. It was very specific, left shoulder open. No trailers, no trucks, right? I look at my right-hand mirror because you know me, Charlie. I'm in that right lane because that's where I live. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And then the best one, though. Again, left shoulder is open.
Right.
Florida State Police is in the left shoulder with his little camera thing, making people merge off the shoulder that's open for travel.
Makes sense.
Didn't even have his lights on. Yeah. So I don't know.
Got to get some revenue, bro, before this thing destroys half the state again.
Yeah, I guess. That was just weird to me, though.
Dude, this whole day has been weird. This whole last couple of days has been weird. I mean, it's just I'm just baffled by the people. So like okay, so here, where to go? Dennis Lewis said his parents left Lakeland around 4 a.m. and they're heading to Alabama. Grew up in Pasco County. The storm is going to go right over parents' house in Mulberry, Florida. I get that. I wouldn't have left. I'm not leaving now. I'm running from. I would run from water. I learned that lesson.
Mm-hmm.
You should be bouncing because of the water. I mean, unless you have like serious need for like medical equipment or things like that. I mean, really, you just. I don't know. You, the general here's the general rule, and here's something I find what a lot of people do in these evacuation orders is they go to Alabama, they go to Georgia, North Carolina, wherever. And I'm like, if you went 15 miles down the road, grabbed a hotel, you'd be solid.
Mm-hmm.
And the roads wouldn't be all jammed up and crazy and people fighting over gas and oh my god, don't even get me going on the gas. Holy hell. It was crazy. I don't even understand what was happening with that. People are going crazy over this stuff. And no planning involved beforehand. They're like, let's just drive. We have no idea where we're going or how we're going to get there, or how much gas we need, or where we're going to get it.
Yeah, I'm at the Loves in Tifton, Georgia, which is what, like 60 miles into Georgia
Yeah.
from Florida. Um, and I'm calling it the hurricane bathroom line. Men and women both, man. There's a freaking line down that little hallway and stuff. It's because all the four wheelers are coming in here to get munchies. This is another time. This is we can plug our how I stock my truck, Charlie. I got a bunch of water. I got food for like a month in the truck.
Right.
Right when I leave the house, I literally have a month's worth of food on the truck. Um, I ain't worried. I felt like I deserved a Taco Bell last night. Ah, crap, Donna's listening. Anyway, yeah, I got a Taco Bell last
Busted.
night. I think we ran them out of food. I think I got one of the last sets of tacos that they had. And it's, again, that was a TA. Where was it? You know where it's at, Charlie.
Wildwood.
Wildwood TA. Boy,
Wow.
what a rundown place that is.
Yeah,
Anyway,
place destroyed over the years.
I got one of the last parking spots at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, so I go and get my Taco Bell and I'm walking back out to the truck and it's like Frogger. Getting back to my truck between the
Okay.
trucks and the four wheelers all trying to get in and out. It was terrible.
This is funny, and I would have thought the same thing until I was driving home last night. Accelerated Rule says, why wouldn't you drive at night and avoid the folks who can't stay awake? Here's the funny thing. I guess we got into Lake City around 11:30 or midnight last night. So we're coming across I-10, look up and down I-75 as we cross over it to get in over to the DC. Northbound lanes, all jammed, solid headlights and brake lights in both directions, going north, right? We look up, it's jammed. Look down, it's jammed. Southbound, wide open, nobody there like normal.
Well,
So I dropped the trailer. Go ahead.
I did get up with my alarm at 2 o'clock in the morning because I told you that was my plan. Hey, people are too lazy to drive at night, so we're gonna leave early so I could. So I'm looking at my trucker's path, nothing but a red line all the way up past the 10. And I'm
Yep.
like, well, I'm going back to bed then because I ain't doing that unless I have had plenty of rest and slept for
So
another 4
I
hours.
can tell you when so we dropped off the trailer. We left there about 12:15, 12:30, something like that. Got out on the 75 southbound. Northbound is jammed up. Got down to the first rest area just south of Lake City. Trucks were 3/4 of a mile on both sides of the rest area on the shoulder, jammed up. The car area in the rest area, which is it's a big rest area there. The car area was completely impassable because cars went stupid. Like they wouldn't move, and then they blocked the aisleways and it was over. The truck area was jammed up solid, couldn't get through that. And this was so this was both sides of the interstate, by the way, for both rest areas. And then there was traffic all the way down to Gainesville. Rosie and I jumped off at 382, and there was no sign of relief in the traffic at all. I mean, it was just solid. You could have walked on top of vehicle to vehicle all the way down from, I-10 to 382. We get on 121 to cut over to 19. For those of you who know the area, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, we're cutting through the backwoods, through Williston and all that nonsense to get out to 19. It's a solid line of headlights coming up 121 all the way from US 19. We make the left on US 19 to go south, US 19. Headlights the whole damn way.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that many cars on 121 or US 19 ever. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. And this was it, between midnight and 3 a.m. this morning. It had me spooked to the point where I was driving like 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour. I tend to drive a little fast on the way home when I'm trying to get home. 65, 70 in spots where I can, things like that. I'm bobtail, whatever. But I was doing like 50, 55 because I kept imagining tired people who aren't used to driving at night, and they're getting tired and frustrated, and they're passing in zones where they should not pass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jeff was telling me a story. He saw a guy run up the shoulder on the shoulder that's closed, come around a blind curve, only to find there's parked traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a motorhome. And that's just like, whatever, because we were talking about if it's that slow the whole way, where am I supposed to take my 30? I ended up doing it at the closed way station, by the way. But
Right.
Yeah, your way stations are nice, by the way.
They are.
This is like the fifth time I've been to Florida in my entire career. So I was like, oh. But you know what else Florida has? More freaking way stations than California. Dude, it's like they're insane. And you commented on this because I told you, and they're all freaking open.
Yeah.
Do the way stations close for hurricanes, Charlie?
Hell no.
Apparently not.
Damn sure not the ag
stations
centers.
do. Oh, the ag center on the 75 was closed.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised.
But it still wigs me out that the flashing light means don't come in, because that's backwards to me.
Do that again.
Stop it.
You did it. Whatever. And then you did it again. That was great. I just saw it again on the other screen over here because I got the YouTube channel on the screen over there, and I'm like, that's funny. So I just got the replay. It was awesome. Oh man. Yeah. There's a lot going on. Mike Anderson. This was Jeff's exact gripe yesterday. Mike Anderson, I was in Yulee, Florida yesterday. I always love pulling into 6 Florida way stations each time I drive on I-10.
Yep.
That's about right too. It's a lot.
Well, it's almost this bad. I called Charlie. I'm like, oh crap, I got a way station. Hold on. So then I call him back when I'm through the way station because I don't have pre-pass guys, so I have to go into everyone. By the time I get Charlie back on the phone, like 5 minutes later, crap, another way station. I swear it's that bad.
Oh, now an ag center. I'm like, don't worry, you have one more, but the second one's closed because they got demolished in the last hurricane. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Ag centers. I think California does it right because you go from the ag center directly to the way station. It's right there. Boom. And then you're done.
So Florida's funny though, because on 10, they have the ag center and the way station right when you come into the state, right? They have that ag center and then a way station shortly thereafter.
It's like 2 miles down the road, yeah.
Yeah. But then they have another ag center way up, and that's to catch people coming out of North Florida or South Georgia in the middle of Florida. That's why that one's there. And then, they got the other one on 75. And all the little roads that you could feed into like I-10 or any of those roads, 75, you think, oh, I'll go around the little tiny roads. No, they have ag centers out there too. They're not playing. And those, I think, sometimes are more likely to dip fuel and look in trailers because they're just like, I'm bored. I'm going to do something. Yeah. They said I have to be open, so I'm going to do something.
Well, the dude in front of me, he was hauling a reefer. And so he pulls up to the stop sign. And it's like 2-3 minutes. I see him passing paperwork back and forth. And I'm like, how long does this take? Because, again, don't go to Florida all that often. I'm used to California where you barely get your bill up and they're like, go. you know. But California, man, they take it seriously. So this dude gets pulled in for an actual inspection, and I can see the officer, right? He's sitting under his little tent in his chair, just kind of leaning back, and you can see him go, gets up,
I was telling
goes
Jeff,
over to the
that dude's
truck.
been sitting in that chair for the last 2 days solid, just waiting for them to like pull someone over. And he's like, oh man. Cause he looks so comfortable sitting out there. Like when I went by, they're just used to seeing Target trailers. They're like, get out of here. You know, every now and then they'll actually talk to us. Like, what are you hauling? I'm like, it's Target. We're empty.
Mm-hmm.
On our way back, they're like, okay, bye. And he's like, it's great. Acceleration rules. A real truck driver is moving 4 miles per hour off to taking their 30. There was a lot of that going on yesterday. I promise you.
So I can tell you, and it's not illegal, so I'll just say it. If my ELD kicks me into on duty while I'm driving, that's not my problem. When I'm stopped in traffic, I will just let it do that. And then
Right?
when I get
I'm
up
like,
above 5 miles an hour, it'll kick me back on to drive. And if it takes a half hour to get to that point, it takes a half hour to get to that point.
right.
It is within the law to do that.
Life
Now
on
we're going to
18.
have, this is the one day that Tillman is actually watching the show, and we're going to get a phone call now.
Right? He's like, what are you guys saying? Stop
people.
it, bro. Oh man. Life on 18 wheels. The real Floridians are just watching everyone leave in confusion.
Florida man right here.
Whatever.
Charlie admitted to me yesterday that what he does in these storms is he does a Lieutenant Dan.
Yes.
He gets out there and shakes his fist at the sky.
Every time. At some point or another, I will go out in the yard and I will shake my fist at the sky. Why? Because I can.
Do you see that dude?
My defiance.
Do you see that YouTube dude, the redneck comedian that likes to wear Daisy Dukes combat boots and no shirt? He's out there with his hurricane suit. He's got a hurricane suit.
That's
and
awesome.
It's a garbage can strapped to him and an umbrella. It's not an umbrella. It's an umbrella. Ask him. That's his hurricane suit.
Hi, baby. Oh. Trucker Tim wonders why they have so many way stations, I'm guessing, in Ag Center. Hey, there's an awful lot of freight that comes in this place that they want their share of. Let's be real.
And what happens if you have a horse trailer?
Oh, you're getting probed. Someone's getting probed or something's getting probed. You can just bet. You pull into an Ag Center in Florida with horses or livestock, you're getting out, you're stopping, you're parking, you have to show papers, bet logs. I think they're touching animals. I don't know. It's weird. They come back and you're like, you've got a weird smile on your face, bro. But okay. I'm not cracking on anybody. Don't mess with me, Ag Center guys. I love you guys. I just wish you would talk to us every now and then. And not look. This is the normal. This is the normal posture of an Ag Center employee in Florida when you pull up to the window. Go! Sometimes I might sit there and just stare at them.
Unless you got livestock.
Yeah, don't mess around. I do. Rosie's like, we should just go now. And Rosie's sometimes like, I just wish they would say something. And I'm like, I just wish they would acknowledge our existence on the planet. Make eye contact at the very least. But literally, you drive by and they're like this. Whatever. It's a hard job, I guess. What are you going to do? Lots of comments. Yeah, I-75 was bad. James said, what's up? Someone said the rest area or the way stations on 75 are closed. I could actually believe it now. They're really trying to keep. So It's weird though, because sometimes they'll keep them open just to kind of pull trucks off and space people out, and then other times they'll close it just to make the world go by. Eye contact is great. James Bond said, "Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. I apologize." What's up, Bear Hunter? Good to see you, buddy. Dennis, real Floridians get the alcohol and the grills ready for the party. Party time. I unfortunately can't drink alcohol right now. I don't know why. It triggers my migraines. Like I have a beer, and I think it's actually from. I think I drink a beer or have a little sip, and I think it relaxes my neck, which is odd, right? For me. And when it relaxes my neck, it'll trigger a migraine that comes out of my neck because all of a sudden I'm like twitching out in my neck. It's odd. So every time I have a drink right now, I get a massive migraine, which is no fun. I haven't had a migraine all week. Dang it. Now I said it out loud. God, man. Come close a couple times.
Yeah.
There's comments I'm just not touching. What would the old Montford guys do? Right? Look, there's nothing they can do right now. They'd be screwed. I just feel like there's more of this story here. Trucker Tim, the guy from church who goes down to Florida to get the wild boar in a small freezer truck for our annual beast feast, has shared some stories from the agricultural station. I feel like there's a story to be told.
Hey, man, whatever.
Non-alcoholic beer is a thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand the concept personally. It's wrong. Whatever. I know I missed a bunch of stuff. I apologize if we missed stuff. It's hard to keep up with stuff today. I'm super tired. I slept like 2 hours last night and then got an hour nap before the show. That's what I did. I almost called Jeff at 2:00 last night, and I figured, you know what? If he didn't wake up, he's probably better off because I knew what the traffic was.
Right.
What is that?
Brian just sent us a picture of Charlie.
Oh, jeez.
Is it
Make
showing
it happen.
Up? Okay. Help me out, Charlie.
Yes.
Dang it.
I like it.
For Brian Jess, there's a candid picture of Charlie, man, during a hurricane at the Publix.
Other than the hair, I could dig the whole outfit. Wait, the flip flops, bro.
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
They lost me with the flip flops, but yeah, that's pretty close. The rest of it, I'm just down for it. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. If it wasn't for the hair and the flip flops, I'm down with the rest of it. The rest is appropriate. I like that. Yeah. That's great. That's some great AI stuff. Oh, wait, Mike Henderson. I pulled a live load of tigers once, and a DOT officer in Ohio said he needed to check all live animals. He didn't realize they were tigers till we walked back. He was shocked when he saw the tiger. I'd be like, go ahead.
I did a Ringling Brothers move once, but I did not get the tigers. I got the stuff that they make the corral for the elephants.
Right.
That was a trip because it was a flatbed load, and I don't do flatbed, so I had to do a little impromptu class with the guy that was in charge of the account. It's really interesting. So my first ever flatbed load, Charlie, was on a trailer that had the head rack as part of the trailer, and it was a spread axle. And that was fun. No, it was not fun.
Right.
And I had a student.
Say it loud, Lisa.
That's right.
I agree with you right now.
I have never been a sandal guy at all. Not sandals, not flip-flops, nothing.
Shame on you if you're flip-flops and slides person. climbing in and out of your truck, walking around truck stops, shippers, receivers. Just saying.
Yeah, I see the people at the guard
Those are
shacks.
shower
Every
shoes,
once in a while, they'll see some guy getting out with slides, and they just have that look, and they shake their heads. It's like I don't get it. Part of it might just be the army in us, though, Charlie, because we were taught to protect our feet.
right? Ooh, I want Iron Maiden graphics on my truck. Going to see Iron Maiden in Pittsburgh in November. Haven't been to a concert in 20 years. That's awesome. And I could see some really cool Eddie graphics on trucks. I'm actually amazed that you don't see them. Because there are some amazing Eddie graphics out there. Like not even just the album covers, like the fan art that people do is crazy. Like oh my gosh, those are some of the greatest drawings ever.
So Kathy, flip flops are for the beach.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to. I'm the guy though, Charlie. And Oregon beaches
Yeah.
they're soft sand. They're not. There's no rocks in it at all. I'm the guy that goes down there with my tennis shoes at Seaside. And at Seaside, you go down the steps to get to the actual beach. And I sit on the bottom step and I take my shoes off and I put them in my little backpack and I walk without shoes at all on the beach. So not even at the beach. And then they've got the foot wash station on the way back up. So,
right. Look, Brian. He said, say what you want about my flip-flops. I don't wear them driving or at work at all. But if I'm walking up to go take a shower, I'm putting on my flip-flops on. Here's the thing. Look, power to you. I will not pick on you quite as much if you're carrying like a shower bag and you're walking in. I'm still going to point it out. I'm going to tell Rosie, look at that dude. Dang, man. Put on some real shoes. I have flip-flops in my backpack with my shower stuff.
mm-hmm.
I call them shower shoes.
Yep.
That's an army thing. Shower shoes.
I gotta tell you, the one that bugs the best night out of me is guys at the fuel island. I see. I'm someone I have to wear gloves when I fuel because I'll get a rash like right around in here on my hand every time if I don't wear gloves when I'm fueling. I'm sensitive to it, so when I see that, it actually hurts me to see.
Mike Henderson said, I used to love Roman sandals, but he's talking about when they were brand new and they were actually the in fashion thing.
Well, that's when Mike was in the army, right?
Right.
Back in the day.
He remembers Caesar and all that. So I mean,
didn't you serve on Hedron's wall?
Love you, brother. Oh my God. Jonah Green, stop picking on the new steering wheel holders. Nope, not gonna. Oh my God, flip-flops for Driver Appreciation 2025. I'm telling you, I will lose my darn mind.
Hey, when we went to one of the ES events, we got ES flip-flops.
Yep. But what was it a part of? Like a shower
kit.
It was a shower kit.
Yeah.
I gave mine away to a dude in Charlotte who was actually wearing flip-flops. He was a homeless dude, and the pilot or whatever the hell it was had paid him like $3 to clean the entire parking lot. And he was walking around in flip-flops and no socks. And the flip-flops that he had under his feet, like his feet hung over like this far each end. It was crazy, right? And I saw this dude and I talked to him I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, they gave me $3 cleaning the parking lot. I ran to the truck and I gave him my brand new shiny ES flip-flops and my awesome yellow ES socks. Mm-hmm. And he put them on, and that dude like legit hugged me, bro. We like broed up for a minute because now his feet weren't on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any cash because I actually would have helped the dude out. I don't give money to people asking for money as a general rule. I don't believe most people's stories, and I know that's a sad place to be, but I've seen too many of the bad people out there, right? I will buy someone a sandwich, a drink, gave dude some flip-flops and socks. I would have gave him money, though, because I actually saw him out there working for trying to make some, and the fact they gave him $3 was absolute garbage. The dude cleaned up the parking lot and those of you who know Charlotte and the pilot in Charlotte, you know it's a trash heap. That dude was out there. He earned $300 picking up garbage out there, and they gave him $3.
So in all my years of being
Bad
out here,
word to
you know
them.
the people that are saying they're out of gas, right? I will offer, hey, get your car up to the pump and I'll put $20 in for you. You know how many takers I've had for that in the last 20
Exactly.
years? I've had 2.
Right?
And both of them were,
Just give
and
me
both
5
of them, both of those people were like about in tears because they've been trying to get gas all day.
right? Metallica in Tampa for 2 nights in June 2025. That might be worth going to. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I could totally see me sitting in chairs watching Metallica these days. Like sitting back and relaxing.
Okay.
Master. But from a chair. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm okay with that. I'm going to give myself a neck ache already.
Yep.
I'm seeing myself on the replay on the other screen right now. I'm like, oh, stop it. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Trucker Tim, I wear sandals if I've already gotten comfortable in the sleeper and need to hit the bathroom, or if I'm going to stay in the sleeper area after coming back to the. Hey, you guys do you. If I see you out of the truck in flip flops or slides, I'm pointing at you and I'm telling stories. I may even take a picture. There's quite a few people who I've taken pictures of, and they were not appreciative of it because I don't hide the fact that I'm taking their picture because I think it's funny. It's not like I'm putting it up anywhere.
So Charlie, even hanging out at the house you and Rosie rented in Phoenix by the pool, still had our boots on.
Yes.
Even no, I went swimming. Rosie went swimming. The only time this man took his shoes off ever that I saw was when we all got in the hot tub. Which, by the way, we need to publish those pictures.
What pictures?
Mm-hmm.
There's no proof. You shut your mouth. I wish I could put those up. Some of those were hilarious.
If you want to see the pictures, what you need to do is you need to sign up for Road Warrior Entrepreneurs because we will be posting those pictures in there.
That's what I heard.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I bet that was a good one. I saw Ozzy, Five Finger Death Punch, and Godsmack a few years ago and had no problem sitting and chilling out with my cold beer and my flip flop. Why you got to be in a flip flop, man?
That would be a great concert, bro.
You had me all the way up to flip flops. You're just messing with me now, aren't you, Brian? We want to you want to wrestle. You know what wrestling is, right? It's wrestling, but naked because you're up to no good. What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
So this is one of those things, Charlie. People ask, I've been married for 30 years.
Jim. Ugly toes.
People ask, what are my secrets to staying married other than being, both my wife and I are very hard-headed and we won't quit. So I do like the hard rock music. Donna does not at all. So you know how I handle that? I just don't listen to it when I've got her in the car. Really easy. There is music that we both like. Not a problem. I've never been a concert goer though either. So I've been to maybe 3 concerts my whole life. So
Mike Anderson took his dad to see Blue Oyster Cult. That's awesome.
That must have been interesting.
Right? I bet that was great. Oh my gosh.
My aunt lived 3 blocks from Autzen Stadium at University of Oregon. And you know who played there every single year until the day he died, right? Jerry Garcia.
Right.
Grateful Dead. And my aunt and her daughters were 100% Deadheads. They would go to that every single year.
I was never into the Dead. Like all my friends were Deadheads, and I was just like, I don't groove on it, man, which is weird, right? Because yeah, Jeff, you've heard my musical taste. I hurt people's brains when they see me. Nobody wants to let me control the music.
Eclectic is the word.
Thank you, eclectic. Nobody wants me controlling the jukebox.
I was pretty proud of you on the drive to the terminal and back. You only touched the radio twice, I think.
Right? I was being good. There was a decent station that I had there. I don't know what one it was. And they're playing some decent, little bit of
That
all, good mix.
yeah, that particular station had a really good mix of old, new, different genres. It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
it wasn't bad. I dug that one. Me concerts at the truck stops. That would be awesome. $100 parking spots. So yeah, you're right.
There was a country music artist that was making a tour of the TAs a couple years ago. I can't remember her name though. They were selling the album from the concert at the TAs for a while.
Hmm.
I'm not a country music fan, so I don't know who it was, but apparently she had a pretty big draw. She was doing a big trucker appreciation tour.
That'd be cool. I would support that.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I'd buy a CD or something. I don't know. What are you guys doing? How many of you are in Florida? Get the hell out if you're here. I'm just saying. Look,
Yeah,
this
it'll
is
take you 2 days, but
we've been
hey.
talking about it. We've been joking and having a good time, but seriously, be careful, you guys. This is gonna be nasty if you're in this band of this thing. It's gonna be a hurricane as it crosses the whole state.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I was watching Max Velocity. Max Velocity, I think he's live right now. Love that dude. If you don't know who Max Velocity is, and I look another YouTube channel, love that dude. Like for real. He's got a huge following. And I'm like super jealous. You know, while I was watching him yesterday, he gained like 25,000 subs yesterday, Jeff.
Really?
During
Wow.
2 lives. 25,000 subs. I was telling her, we got 1,600 total. That's cool. I wasn't jelly. I was like, that's amazing. I mean, he had 33,000 people watching his live at one point. We've got 28 people.
Well, Charlie, we've talked about this. All we have to do is be willing to offend the most amount of people we can.
Right?
I mean, color my hair green or something. I don't know. It's just not our bag, bro.
I know.
Uh,
People are always messing us
so
up.
James Vaughn is doing laundry right now, and so James Vaughn lives in Mexico, right? I don't know what you did to him at Driver Appreciation Week, but I think James Vaughn is sending this to us from Mexico because it's touching the coast of Mexico
Probably.
first. I think he like did something with his herb garden that he's growing. There's some magical property in that crop of his, and he pushed the storm our way and strengthened it. It's James Vaughn.
Ryan All is live right now doing hurricane coverage. I don't know who that one is. My dude's Max Velocity. Love that guy, like for real. James Vaughn, maybe. I'm not saying. Hey Al. Sorry. I have doors open. What are you doing, man? Anyhow, I like that. I can't touch that comment. Whatever. FEMA, since we're talking about it. Last I heard, they're giving people from the last hurricane $750. I don't know if it's true or not. Honestly, God, I don't know anything about it. I'm like, that's fantastic. Like every street or every house, every street in my neighborhood and every house has huge piles of life sitting out in their yards. Most of them lost their vehicles. FEMA's like, hey, bro, here's $750. Start new life. You're like, all right, man, that's great. Glad to see my tax dollars helping out.
Well, did you see some of the stuff out of the Carolinas on Lost One? There was one dude that did a live video. He was one of those dudes. I can't remember if it was from the Cajun Navy or somebody else. One of those organizations that just goes out and helps after these things. And he showed his line of like 40 pickup trucks ready to go in and help people.
Right.
And then he showed the road. And they'd been trying to get help from the state to get air power in there because they couldn't get up into the mountains to help these people.
Yep.
He finally found a buddy of his that had a helicopter, little one, but it was at least air power. And they went in and got some people out. And he was just like disgusted because he was like, we have all these assets with the National Guard and the states. We're in a state of emergency. Why aren't they here? you know, that they were helping the people down in the lowlands, but all those people that were trapped up there in the hills, nothing. Donna was saying people were using drones to get insulin and stuff into people.
Yep.
But again, that's us helping each other.
You know,
That's
that
not government doing anything.
right. It's sad if you. I think it sucks when you have to depend on the government.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not gonna say no. They cut me a check. I'm putting it in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pay for it one way or the other anyhow.
Right.
We all are. There's no free money. Don't ever believe that it is. Unless you are absolutely unemployed and never work and whatever, you're living on the system, that's fine. I'm not cracking. Don't start on that. I'm saying that any other situation, you're paying it back. In taxes, in something. There's no free money. Like when they were giving out those checks during the pandemic stuff, everybody's like, oh yeah, free money, free money. What did that do to our deficit?
Right. What did it do to our economy? Holy
Oh,
crap.
okay.
Well,
I'm not gonna say no.
We were still working through all that, and when the kids had to do online school for that year, and I went to Best Buy in Longview, not Best Buy, it was Office Depot or something, because Longview's not big enough for a Best Buy. But anyway,
Right.
Trying to get Chromebooks for the kids, right?
Right.
You know what people were doing? They were cashing their stimulus checks instead of buying food or paying rent, because you didn't have to pay rent, right? A lot of people don't realize that. It's actually how we got our house. But anyway, people didn't have to pay rent. So what they do, they spend all their money on big screen TVs, computers, all sorts of stuff, not living expenses. So, Charlie, I don't know if I've said on the show, I think I told you, one of the ways we got our house, right? It was a rental before we bought it. The renters were some of those people that were not paying rent for a year because the government put that thing where you couldn't evict people during COVID. Well, the lady that owned the house, the bank was foreclosing on her because she couldn't pay her mortgage. Mortgages weren't forgiven.
Right.
No, if you're a homeowner or you own a rental property, you were screwed.
Yep.
And so that's how we got this house for a really good deal, because she just needed out of it. That was part of the whole thing, that why that house was even on the market.
You guys, just so you know, we see the comments, you guys. It's not that Jeff and I lean one way or the other. I just want to go on record. We've said it before. I just want to reiterate. We tend not to discuss specific political parties and or their agendas. But a statement like this, I am absolutely down with. Craig Hudson, doesn't matter who the president is, FEMA has its own rules. The whole government system sucks. Amen, sir.
Yep.
And I don't care who's in charge. I don't care who's in charge. So Jeff and I have this little thing. We hear people talk about, oh, what if A gets in the office? What if B gets in the office? Oh, I want A in office. I want B in office. Jeff and I have our opinions on who we would prefer to have in office, of course. We're people in the country, right? But what we're doing is, we're going to vote the way that we are going to vote, and we're not probably won't. I mean, I don't discuss it typically. Jeff doesn't usually discuss it openly either. We talk about it with
if we talked about it, we would just offend half of the people.
Right. I mean, we'd lose half the people that watch, right?
Yeah.
and that's not what we're trying to do. And it's not that we're desperate to keep one side or the other. We're trying to keep the community, right? Community has people from all thoughts and processes and lifestyles and opinions, and that's what makes the community better, right? So we're not trying to run one off because I say, oh, A is a jerk, and Jeff's like, no, B is a jerk, and we've just lost everybody, right?
Right.
But we do say we're going to wait and see what happens, and then we're going to adjust our businesses and act accordingly.
Yep.
No matter what happens, we're going to find a way to now work within that system we're going to have for the next 4 years. I hope that makes sense to you guys.
I mean, that's one of the things Charlie and I have done the last year is we attended this online thing with Tony Robbins and his people. Dean Graziosi is less known to most people, but he's business partners with the big man, as I like to call him. But this whole 4 day thing, that was one of the themes they talked about. It's like, we're not going to get into politics here. We all know the system is screwed up. Um, but what they did say is you want to build your business in such a way to where it doesn't matter. You can't control these people anyway. You can't control what they do. They're going to do what they do. You need to think about let's just take the PRO Act. If the PRO Act ever passes, right? And we've talked about this before. It's not really in play like it used to be. But if the PRO Act ever passed, what's your plan to stay in business? Because if the PRO Act were to pass, you can't stay leased to a carrier. That's nationwide AB5, brother. And Charlie and I and other people that are in our circle, we've discussed this, and we do have a plan how to stay in business if this ever happens. So that's the thing, Um, whoever's in office, I don't know. The country decides it's 350 million people, give or take. Um, last time I looked at it, Charlie, about 25 to 30% of us vote,
Right.
and they put these jackasses in office. And again, they're all jackasses. I don't care. They're jackasses, and they're going to make decisions that affect our businesses. Question is this. This is always the question for me. Charlie, do you want to stay in business?
Right.
Now, if certain things happen and they make it uber difficult, I mean, I gave it a good run for 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe, if they make it that hard to where I can't make a living at it without becoming like a larger carrier myself, I did not set myself up to become a carrier, right? So maybe at that point, there's a really tough decision to be made. Unfortunate, but again, you got to do what you need to do for you and yours. And we're not talking about the survivalist novels here. We're talking about good common sense things that you can do. Save some money. For heaven's sake, save some money. Um, have your good relationships at carriers, brokers, other people like the community. Have those relationships so that when something goes sideways, you have a plan. You can, if all of your plans go sideways all at once, I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing that I recommend you do is get into the community, if you're a member of the community, and say, hey, everything's gone sideways. I don't know what to do. What do you guys think?
Right.
Even we're growing, we're still small, but even as small as we are, we've got what, Charlie, maybe 150 years at least of experience between all of
Easily.
us. You know, we run into a lot our own questions about our businesses where someone, you know, maybe Craig or Sean or Tim will say, I tried that and this is why it didn't work, bro. Or have you tried this? Have you tried that? This thing really worked for me. That's the power of the community, guys. That's the there's the classes, there's the coaching, the group coaching that we're going to start up here soon. But the real power is that right there to be able to say, hey, I'm having an issue with my business, and having guys answer up and say, hey, you know what? That happened to me. Here's what I did. A lot of us that are already in there, we were there for the Obama years. We were there for the um, Bush years. We were there for the Trump years, and we've been there for the Biden years. A lot's happened politically in
Right.
that time. We've had a couple really bad downturns. We've all survived that. There's knowledge there that will help you out. Term limits for Congress. Yeah, I
Okay,
saw
hang
you
on.
started that one. I saw
Let,
you
let,
started that one, and I zeroed in on it because that's,
let me run
man,
through the
you're gonna
stars,
make me
Jeff.
talk about that because that's a passion for me.
Let me run through the stars, and then I'm gonna turn you loose because they're going quick right here. And I think there was a lot of good stuff that popped up. I'm gonna go to the top. Brian just said, Craig, the government system is the people, so I guess we as a whole suck. Absolutely, I agree with that
Yeah.
statement. We do. It is absolutely 100% our fault. Jeff mentioned, something like 30%, 40% of the public votes. That's the problem.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
I mean,
wait, even worse, I'm gonna say that people vote in an uneducated fashion.
mhm,
They vote because Facebook told them this is a good thing. Vote yes on this.
mhm.
Lord help us. Lord
Hey,
help.
I got a comment on that one. Did I tell you about this, Charlie? So the here's what the subject was. The fire department in Hawaii has finished up their investigation of the fire over there, the big one
Oh
last year.
God.
And there's a lot of conspiracy theories
Oprah did
going
it.
on about that. Yeah,
Sorry.
that was the one that got everybody riled up.
God.
So I started looking at the thread, and it was a certain outlet that tends to have a lot of conspiracy theorists anyway.
Right.
And I enjoy looking at those comments. But knowing what I know and about the social media, right? I decided to do a little Facebook stalking on these commenters, and I just picked 10 at random that were what I felt like. Well, it wasn't really random. The 10 that I felt like were the most inflammatory, and four of them had obvious fake profiles, not real people,
It's crazy.
and got people riled up about how Oprah hires someone to point a laser somewhere so that she could buy up all the land around her estate in Hawaii. What?
Right.
But people are like, yeah, right on, man. All this stuff. And they were obvious fake profiles, bro. Obvious. Like they joined last week and they had two profile pictures of two different people in them. But yeah, I mean, you got to be careful. You got to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, I think, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Um, just keep your intellectual head on a swivel. That just
Don't
baffles
let
me that
people
they
feed
can
you
do that.
your opinion.
Right.
Jeff and I have opinions. We're very adamant and uh staunch supporters of what we believe, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we are 100% down to have discussions about our opinions. Um and we're okay. And you know what? Every now and then we run into someone who changes our view and our opinion. And we ain't mad. I mean, if you're wrong, we're gonna say you're wrong until you can prove it right, because we're going to keep saying you're wrong, and we're going to show you all the reasons we believe that we think that opinion or thought is wrong. We're going to back it up with facts that we have at our disposal.
Right.
Right. We're not just going to say you're wrong because I said so. We're going to say you're wrong because you don't know how to buy fuel. That's why you're losing $10,000 a year. You don't know how to buy fuel. You're buying because, I don't know, your carrier says, hey, buy fuel here. It's the cheapest spot for us. And you're like, oh, that's great.
Right.
Whatever. I'm going to get back to more of these comments real quick because there was a
Yep.
bunch I need to zip through here on the stars. We were talking about the North Carolina stuff and how they got failed out there in the middle of nowhere. Craig said if anyone failed them, North Carolina did. The governor could have activated the National Guard there. Absolutely 100%. He thought
Yep.
when South Carolina had major flooding, they didn't wait on the White House or a Democrat or a Republican to show up. Our state activated its own resources. That's the way things are supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah, and I was in the National Guard in Oregon for 6-7 years. It was a weird enlistment,
Right.
but that our primary mission was humanitarian. We have a lot of fires in Oregon. Got activated to go help with the forest fires and this and that. When downtown Portland got flooded, we were activated. I wasn't personally activated, but the National Guard was activated to go help um, reinforce the seawall there because it was,
Right.
and oh, dude, that one. You know Portland. You know
Yeah.
how tall that seawall is on
Oh
the
yeah.
Willamette River. It got up over that and flooded downtown.
Right.
That's amazing.
Life on 18 wheels. Shame we can't have opinions and everyone just respect each other's choices, ideals. You know, it used to be. I even remember in my lifetime when you would see a Democrat, a Republican, someone of other thoughts, even having a discussion at a lunch counter.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but my dude's this, and I believe he's doing this, and he's, this is why I'm supporting him, and I like this part of his thing, and I think he's going to do good things. And then they're like, oh, but my dude is this, and I believe that they're going to do this. And then he's like, yeah, but what about this? And they have these discussions, and they're like, hey, man, I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast. Where the hell did that?
I always tell people, growing up, my best friend in my neighborhood, his name's Anthony. He's still a very good friend of mine. I don't know for sure because people didn't used to wear their politics on their sleeve, but I'm pretty sure that his family voted opposite to my family.
Right.
And you know what never happened? You can't play with that Anthony kid. You can't play with that Jeff kid. He's bad. None of that. None of that. We had block parties and everybody got along. I don't think it was ever a thing to hate somebody because of their views in the 80s. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go there. There were problems in the 80s. Okay, don't get me wrong, but the infighting we're seeing right now is, in my 51 years, relatively new. What else you got? What else you got?
Freedom of speech is there to protect the unpopular speech. Second Amendment is there to protect the First Amendment. Okay, I'm just gonna yes.
Disagree.
The real issue. Calm down. Don't go off yet. The real issue is we need to replace the majority of these folks in the Senate and Congress. Absolutely.
There's been times in my life, and Donna will attest to this, where I was so upset with Washington D.C. that I thought everybody down to the janitor at the White House should be fired.
Right.
Just
legit.
Just be done. Just
yeah.
Wipe the slate.
All right. I know I've missed a lot of comments, but this one's going to set Jeff off. So here we go. Ready? Okay. And Brian just term limits for Congress is a must. Go, Jeff.
It'll never happen.
I know it's a sad state.
I'm with you 100%, Brian. I really think that would solve a lot. You're a student of history, Charlie. The original idea for the Congress and the Senate was that one term would be held by a businessman, another term would be held by a farmer, and another term would be held by an industrialist. Why? And then they would go home, right? And the idea was that they would not pass laws that would damage their own livelihood. Now you have career politicians, and they vote for their own pay raises, for crying out loud.
Right.
Someone you mentioned the whole uninformed electorate.
Yet.
The founders wanted an informed electorate. Did you know that for a long time, I can't remember when it changed because I'm just not that smart. But originally, you had to be a landowner to even vote. And the idea behind that was you had skin in the game. Now, I'm not saying we need to go back to that. I like that everybody has a chance to cast a vote. But it's just kind of interesting how things have changed, isn't it?
Donna made an interesting point here, and I agree with this. And it's very rare somebody decent has run to run lately. It seems that is a failure on our part as a society, that more good people aren't stepping up. And, I think that there is an absolute fear because of the way that we demonize some people's, I don't know, silly decisions as a kid. I mean, it's to the point now where if you did something silly and got in trouble 15 years old, you might as well have killed the Pope.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to run that into the ground and make it 10,000 times worse than it was. They're going to make it this huge, crazy, drawn out thing that was a nothing type of thing. It was a kid doing a thing, right? and it just gets crazy, man. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I knew.
There's so many-
I've known a few people that were good people that ran for local office, and just to tip my hand a little bit, I think that the largest form of government that actually does anything is the county. I'm just saying.
right.
But when these good people run, they do. They get the mud thrown at them, and it changes them. It,
Love you, babe.
it's you think about if you were bullied as a kid and have that happen when you're 45, right? That's what it
Right.
is when you run for an office.
That you know what? This is a true statement. A lot of people vote with their feelings.
Hmm.
I like to vote my conscience. I think there's
Yes,
a difference.
I vote according to
Um,
my principles.
yeah, I mean, I have voted for many parties on the same big ballots
Hmm.
on different parts of it, right? I like this guy because he's backing contractors or individual business people.
Hmm.
I vote this person because of I don't know their views on social things. I don't know, just random things. But I
Hmm.
mean, I voted for Republicans, Democrats, uh, independent, like true non-party independents that had no hope of winning, which was sad because let's be real, most of those people there's no hope for them
Yeah.
because they're not part of one of the major parties and all that. Um, Libertarian, I vote for a lot of libertarians. Much to my chagrin, they don't do well,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Um, but I like a lot of the ways that they look at a lot of things. I mean, we haven't had any real good libertarian presidential candidates. Just saying.
I think they
The last
focus on
set,
the wrong issues, is what it is.
yeah, the last set kind of destructed themselves. They started out great and then they spoke in public and it all just went to hell there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, yeah. Craig said, "Don't forget TikTok. That's another place right there." Uh,
Don't forget TikTok. Oh yeah.
Brian just said the people need to raise hell until term limits get on the ballot. Then the people will vote for it, not Congress themselves. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. We got to get these people out of there somehow. I think they all need to go and start fresh. But so here's the problem with that, right? It's got to be done in waves, right? You can't have the entire Congress replaced in 1 year. That's bad. Just in
Well,
case you.
that, and I'm just going to bring up a constitutional point, Charlie. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic.
Thank you, sir.
So to have a law passed for the nation has to go through the House and Senate. That's just the way it has to happen. Unless you want to do a convention of the states. And don't even get me started on that because then we get deep into politics and then I'm going to offend at least half of you. But yeah, it's the way the system is set up. I've seen a few people bring it up on the floor, but it never gets out of committee. So
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, politics was never supposed to be a lifetime career.
yeah.
All those the founding folks, they were all farmers or writers or whatever, they blacksmiths. They had these other jobs
Hmm.
and they came together when the country needed things decided,
Yep.
right? That's what that was set up to do.
Well,
And
even the Supreme Court used to only meet for like a few months out of the year,
right.
and then they would go home. So yeah, things have changed though.
That's a thing too. Trucker Tim, if money wasn't an issue, I'd consider running for office. Shame campaign ads aren't free, but it takes money to get yourself out there, which is why so many are corrupt. They owe other people. Exactly.
Yep, that
I
is true.
want to be a billionaire, become president. You don't have to have
Yep.
a billion to start with. If you can get other people to give you money and you can get in office, you'll leave a billionaire. Is what I'm saying. That's what I think. Uh, I'm not going to get into that subject. Sorry. I have written in Mickey
So have
Mouse.
I.
I
I
did.
like Donald Duck personally.
Yeah, I voted for Goofy on several occasions because why not? Even though Pluto is actually a better candidate, Goofy's just way more fun. I just like his voice. Yep, you guessed it. I'm Goofy. That's the best I got. I love that character. Always have as a kid. Can't help it. There's so much in here that I'm afraid to even touch on because we're gonna set the world on fire.
Hey,
Oh,
here's something that I think all of us can get behind, though, Charlie.
wait, sorry. Which one did you just click on? I had to put that one up.
Trucker Tim said, I've written to my officials in the past to make daylight savings time permanent.
Yep, I like that one.
Either way, I don't care if it's daylight savings time or standard time. I just hate the freaking clock change. You know, every year, the business outlets do a thing where they talk about the loss of productivity because of the clock changes, and it's in the multi billions in lost productivity just because we change the clocks twice a year. Here you go, Bear Hunter. We'll let you have this one.
Right?
Bear
We
Hunter
need to
says,
get
"Man,
that
I
up
can't get a comment on tonight."
Bro, we're trying, man.
Hey. Sean got new shocks on his truck.
Sweet.
He said, new shocks, new ride, but he still wants to buy another truck.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Love you, man.
But we've told you, it's a suspension thing with these trucks. If the suspension goes out on that nice Peterbilt you want, you're going to have the same ride that you did in that Freightliner. Guarantee it.
Bear Hunter, you know what? That I'm going back to that one. Sorry. That Charlie in itself is a racket to a point. Independents, libertarians, all are there for one purpose and one purpose only. They 99.9% will not win, but they might get that one vote that swings. That's true,
Yep.
and unfortunately, that's a real thing. I don't believe it's a racket. I think that people are too close-minded to look at other platforms.
Yeah.
They're like, no, my daddy was a Democrat. My granddaddy was a Democrat. I'm gonna be a Democrat. Which is funny because let's look at a little history here. If you look at what Democrats and Republicans were back in the day,
Yeah.
they've kind of swapped sides.
Yeah.
It's a little baffling, and if you want to fight about it, whatever, I'm just going to ignore you. I don't even care. I'm standing by that statement. We don't have to fight about that one. It's a thing. Go back and look at everything. Look at the way they stood back in the day and see where they stand now, each party. It's hilarious to me. Hey, look, people want us to be president.
No. It's a lack of hesitation there.
Right? Look, there's another one. All right, we're gonna need $1 billion, guys.
That's right. Just send it to us.
In fact, make it 100 billion and we might have a shot.
Here's my Venmo.
Right?
We can run it through Contractors Corner, Charlie. And since we got it before we ran for office, we could say we're self-funded and we don't have to worry about those pesky campaign finance reforms.
I'm wearing a little bit of a protest shirt today. Let me see if I can do this. Watch it. It's going to be offensive. Donna, take Pete's eyes away. Take Pete's eyes away.
Oh, Charlie.
Yep, it happened. Can't help it. Screenshot that one, y'all. Yeah, I can tell you that there's a couple of Target store managers that do not appreciate this shirt.
I bet.
I've only had one actually say something, but I've caught an awful lot of eyeballs like this. And I'm like,
hey, that's the thing, Dennis. Since apparently it's become a trademark of mine. If I were to become president, I would be an easy target because my limo would have bungee cords on it.
There you go. Just saying.
Just like
I
Joe
apologize,
Bishop and
Donna.
his
Sorry.
purple dinosaur.
It's my
Just like
little
Joe,
test moment.
just like Joe Bishop and his purple dinosaur.
There you go. Look, these shirts are great. I can't remember where the heck I got this one. I've had this one a while, but they're out there. There's a bunch of might even no, it's not a grunt style. I can't remember who I got this one from. I got a few
Grunstall's
of
got
these.
a bunch of good ones too.
Yeah, they do. I love grunt style shirts. Hey, you look, there was a legitimate one, kind of. I understand. I understand the vote.
You know, since you brought it up, Mike, though, historically speaking, Ross Perot split the vote, and that's how Clinton won his first term in
Yep.
office. And that whole Ross Perot thing, Charlie, is one of the reasons why third-party candidates get laughed at now.
Right.
Because both sides, Republicans and Democrats, will point to Ross Perot's run for office
Right.
and say, this guy's going to split the vote. And it scares people. I honestly, Charlie, think that election, though, was probably one of the more honest elections I've seen in my life. People had choices.
Right.
People had real reasons for not liking one candidate or the other, or both. And they had a real choice there. Ross Perot, love him or hate him, it's not what we're talking about. But there was an actual choice there, right?
Right.
So, oh, wow, this guy's going to hit something. He can't hit my truck from the angle he's at, though, so that's good.
Hey, I
don't want anybody hitting my beautiful Western Star.
There we go.
Oh!
I've been avoiding comments that say that in it.
I should have taken a picture of my beautiful Western Star when I got up, because next to my beautiful Western Star on the left was a red Western Star.
Of course.
Next to my beautiful white Western Star on my right was a blue Western Star.
All right, so you Swift guys, I'm just going to change the subject. You guys that are over at Swift, there's an OO survey out. Michael Fowler saying, please respond to it. It's 3 questions. There you go. I can't remember. They just sent it to me again.
So just so you guys at Swift know, we found out, Charlie and I think we mentioned this on our show during Driver Appreciation Week. We found out that there is a person at Swift that literally reads every single survey.
Yes, and I love the lady.
And she loves doing it. Like it's her thing.
She's one of my favorite people.
What's her name? Trace Lynn?
Trace Lynn.
Yep, I got it right. Look at that. Look at me today. I mean, when she was telling us about that part of her job, she was like glowing. She actually legitimately loves reading through them. So don't think that your survey is not getting read. It is. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm looking at this survey. Definitely go fill this out, you guys. For whatever reason, I can't. It won't let me type in here right now because I'm doing it on the phone. It won't let me type in here. It's asking your name, your driver code. First question: what brand of truck would you prefer to lease or drive? Some of you guys would be like, "Oh, look down at the bottom of that list. Peterbilt, whatever." In the future, if in the future we're given the option to choose between being paid by the mile or percentage of a load, which option would you prefer? There's a whole discussion we can have there. Have you considered changing companies in the past year? I think that's a weird question. I think everybody should have been thinking that at least once throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly looking. I'm open about that. I'm always looking, but I always find the reason to stay here that keeps me here, right? Jeff moved on to where he's at because of a business opportunity.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was angry at Swift. And that's the thing. A lot of people because he's pissed off.
Me and Brett are freaking best friends. I caught myself.
Good catch, bro. You almost died right there. I'm just saying
Apparently, Brett and I are just.
That was cool. Anyhow, but so yeah, respond. Look, you Swift guys, seriously, fill out that questionnaire. I think it's important. Look at. Mm.
So remember, I told you that a truck looked like it was going to hit something. He gave up, right? Transmex truck just came up to the very same spot and one shot at it. Love that.
Look, yeah.
See, I'm still in trouble. I can't win, man. I caught myself.
Look, she said it's a good thing you corrected it. Just saying. That was hilarious. I'm the one that catches myself mid-word, which is hilarious and I gotta move my mic. I keep my chin hair keeps getting stuck on the mic, and I'm like this, and that looks really weird. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, all those people are here from Florida now, trying to get in and out of this little bitty.
Oh, dude, good luck tonight, bro.
Well, so here's something to talk about too, because I talked about it on my Mindset Monday video that I actually did today because yesterday was so hectic. And for those of you that saw it, I'm a little scatterbrained in it, so I apologize for that. But I felt like I needed to do something for you guys this week. So I did put the video up. If you haven't seen it yet and you're part of the community, go in and check it out. But, the decisions we make, we got this big hurricane down there. And somebody mentioned Swift not getting paid to go get a load or whatever. Anyway, so where I'm at now at Panther, it's a little different. I have to negotiate a rate to actually deadhead from one market to another. And I'm sitting down there in Tampa. Hey, I got it right this time, Charlie.
Nice.
Tampa, looking at the weather reports, within 48 hours, my truck's getting blown over, so I got a jet. But I don't want to not get paid for it.
You should post that link, Craig.
So I called the carrier. I'm like, hey, what do we do here? Fuel costs what it costs and this and that. I just, unless you guys have something that picks up today and I can get out of here, I got to get out of here. And they hummed and hawed, of course, because, if they pay me to move the equipment to another market, it costs them money that they just lose the money. And I get that. So there's a couple of things to think about here. Number one, you got to do what's best for you and your business. For my business and my way of thinking, Charlie, was I got to get my asset out of here.
Right.
I've got a $190,000 truck here. If it gets blowed over, okay, yeah, it's insured, but think of the downtime, the headaches, all that stuff. So is it worth it to me to deadhead myself, say, to the Atlanta market, where I can look at the board thing that we have and, oh, look, there's only one truck sitting up there and they got 7 loads a day? The answer to that is yes, but I'm going to try and get some money out of it. And when they do empty moves, it's rarely more than 50 cents a mile, by the way, just so people know if you ever decide to come over here and do what I'm doing. They really don't, like at Swift, if you make that deal, you're getting what is it now, 85 cents a mile for equipment relocation?
Right.
So you'd get a little better than me, actually. Okay. So I am going to try and make some sort of deal to get out of there and at least pay for fuel. I look at that as a win-win. They get their asset into a market that actually has freight and isn't going to be down for 2 weeks while they rebuild, right? And I get my fuel paid for to do it. To me, that's a good win-win. What I see a lot of people doing is, oh, I wouldn't move, 400 miles into a better market for 85 cents a mile at Swift or 50 cents a mile at Panther. Well, Charlie has talked about this extensively in the community. What does it cost for your truck to sit? day by day by day.
Right.
It costs me a little less than it costs Charlie. Why? Because I have an APU. I'm not idling the truck for 2 days.
Well,
Yes, an APU does take fuel, but not as much as idling the truck.
so my calculation was based without even idling the truck, like just to leave it sitting at the house, right? And
I
it
know,
was
but when you do the reality
right,
of
right,
being
right,
out in the wild, if your operation was like mine, it would
right.
cost you more per day because of the idle
Oh
time.
yeah, absolutely. And the wear and tear and just everything else and those other things that are so hard to actually quantify in those minutes of idling, right? The engine time, the just everything. It's crazy, man. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, yeah. So there's things to think about, and so um, the value of the lesson here is be thinking every day, every minute. What can you be doing to move that needle forward, right? Um, if it requires you to do something that you wouldn't normally do, but you're going to come out ahead on the other end, that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Um, and this is how, getting back to the dominant discussion that people wanted to talk about today, this is how we ensure that our business are not quite politics proof
Right.
because we don't know what they're going to do. But we do everything we can to keep ourselves going, regardless of what outside influencers are trying to do to us. Um, if you take some of my classes, I really stress the freedom of that point between stimulus and response, that little window between when something happens to you and you respond to it is choice.
Right.
You have a choice. Sometimes the choice sucks, but you do have a choice. There is a whole lot of freedom in just realizing that, folks. Uh, you know, in November, half of you are going to threaten to move to Canada, and the other half are going to say, "Here's your ticket."
Right.
That seems to be the thing now, right?
It doesn't matter which half.
Right. It doesn't matter which one wins. Half of you are going to tell the other half, "Good luck, see you later. Thanks
Come
for all
back
the
in 4
fish."
years, bro.
Yeah. Um, Nobody ever actually does that, but
Right.
whatever. Yeah, that's an interesting thing on and of itself. So whatever, laws get passed. Barney decides that he needs to write 3 more tickets today.
Right.
Whatever it is. Um,
He's the polish. He's got to pay for the polish for that bullet he carries in his pocket. I'm just saying.
that's right. But between that thing that happened and your response, take that little breather and actually make a decision what you're going to do. I actually have an exercise I do, Charlie. I don't know if I've told you about this one,
Is it
but
push-ups?
do I look like I do push-ups?
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say.
I do leaners on a chair. That's about all I could do these days. I'm getting old, man. I do them though. I feel proud of myself when I do them. So yeah.
I totally threw you off. I apologize, brother. It's Chris.
James Vaughn's moving to Mexico. I believe him.
He already lives there, so whatever.
I know.
Chris Hamilton said he drove 300 miles into California to get a 2,237-mile load
Yep.
going the other way. Thanks, Charlie and Neff, for the help. I'm not correcting that. I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
Just saying, I like it, even though he corrected it. Look, okay, whatever. It's right there. But I think that's funny, Neff. That I feel like that needs to stick. Gosh.
So yeah.
Jeff, I'm not going to put it out there, but that shirt idea we were talking about,
yeah,
everyone I have described it to
loves it.
1,000%.
I dare you to describe it to Donna. Call her
I'm
on the
not
phone after the
describing
show and describe it to Donna.
No,
Go ahead and tell her it was my idea too.
no, I am not doing this. No, a side project.
It would not be on. It would not be on her Zazzle account.
That's for sure. Oh wait, I like this. I think I do. Yeah, I'm willing debating on whether to be home on election day or not. Whomever wins is gonna make half the nation mad. If I'm on the road, I'd rather be secured in a secured Swift lot instead of a truck stop. But that that's the that is part of the crazy reality of today.
Well, Don and I have talked about that. It's getting more dangerous to be on the road now. Um, I'm not scared to be on the road, Charlie,
Nope.
but it is more dangerous. That's a fact. Um, it's not common enough to me to really like lose sleep over. But you got guys literally shooting other people for taking too long at a fuel pump.
Right?
This does happen. I okay, you know. I mean, I
And then
I
throw
see.
in an election. Who knows what town's going to burn next?
Yep, yep, yep.
Again, doesn't matter who wins. Some cities getting burned to the ground.
Oh, the other thing that, and I'm just gonna put this out there because why not? We're talking about it today.
Oh,
No matter who wins, Charlie, the other side's gonna say they stole the election,
absolutely.
and they're gonna say that the voting machines are rigged.
Right?
Um, again, doesn't matter who wins. The other side's gonna say that. So
That is so
it's.
bad for our voting system.
I'm just waiting for dogs and cats to live together at this point, dude.
Right.
We're gonna need the Ghostbusters soon. By the way, I did see the new Ghostbusters movie. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
It's not so new anymore. Probably the people that are interested in that have probably already seen it, but talk about a trip down nostalgia lane for someone that grew up in the 80s. It was great.
Hello, Wade.
All right,
Good to see you,
Wyoming.
buddy.
You know that Wyoming is considered the most boring state of the union. I just read that.
Hey, me. I saw you. Yes, I'm not leaving the house. Not unless tree falls on it. And then only if I can't stay in the house because the tree messed it up too much.
But how did you spend your day today, Charlie? You guys are ready to bug out if you need to.
Absolutely prepping. We have large
yeah.
totes with food, with clothes, with some items that may or may not have been lost in a boating accident 2 weeks ago in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
I actually moved most of that type of stuff over to a buddy's house, which really has me weirded out. Totally trust my buddy. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird for me have to move that stuff out of my house, but I have several trees that I am very worried about around my house. We lost chunks of them in 50-mile-an-hour winds, and we're forecasting over 100-mile-an-hour winds here. I think it's a safe bet. There's a problem potential. So yeah, it's a thing. That I think that's number 3 for you keeping count. I've been on not a it's a thing roll today. The opposite. And I guess you could call that number 4. Mike, I was just gonna say, I am in the last 4 minutes or 5 minutes of commune right now. I like the setup. I'm hoping the whole series, and maybe you can let me know, is the rest of the series told in the manner that the first book is, or is the first book lots of kind of setup and establishing characters and all that? Like sometimes they are. It's an interesting way to tell a story. I don't know that I could stick with it too many books deep if the story's told that way all the time. You'll understand. Let me know, man. I'm into it. I really like. I'm invested in those characters, bro. I started it 2 days ago and got to the what's it called? The it's not forward. It's at the end. It's words, not my friend.
Epilogue.
Epilogue. I'm listening to the epilogue right now, and where they were just talking about Gibbs, and so I heard them mention Gibbs throughout it, and I thought, huh, but they never talked about Gibbs during the book. But now in the epilogue, they're talking about Gibbs and that, and so I'm into it. I didn't think it was a bad book, and I understand the character building. Commune, Bear Hunter, pretty good, bro. I would be more invested mentally if I knew. And Mike said that book 2 is better, so there I'm going to take that. I'm saying that's going to be a worth it series. Jeff, I think you'll enjoy it as well. Book
Okay.
one may be a little tough to get through, but yeah, it's I liked it. I liked it. How many books are there, Mike? I haven't looked yet. I tend not to look to see how many books there are. It's weird. And has the series completed, Mike?
Yeah, that's important to both of us right now after listening to the last Skippy book.
Oh my gosh.
Total cliffhanger.
Gosh. I just finished the last backyard uh starship as well, the most latest episode of that, and I'm bummed because now we're hanging again, and who knows. Bitcoin John, it was Commune, was the name of the book, and it's a series. It's an apocalyptic survival series. That's the best way to describe it. It's quick premise, EMP, and then a plague.
Oh,
Not an EMP, excuse me, solar flare. Solar flare, mass coronal ejection.
MCE.
I'm just saying that's a fun one to say. It triggers the 12-year-old. I dig that one. Brian Jess, I email my elected officials often. Rick Scott, Mark Rubio, Bill Posey are my federal elected people. Also have been on the mayor office in my town often. Local politics affects my life the most. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Scott, what's that guy? Bill, I can't say his name. Ends in Kiss, something Kiss. I I get email from them with their crazy stuff because I'm constantly sending emails to them. I know all the crap that they send me is like, all this pre-generated formatted stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
But whatever. I feel like I'm trying to do things. I'm not super into local politics. The very local politics. I just saw my mayor for the first time during that hurricane. I'm just honestly, I'm not here enough to even get involved. Other than my sheriff's election, pretty happy about my local sheriff being voted out in the primary. The incumbent sheriff lost in the primary. Pretty happy about that. There's a lot to talk about there that won't make any sense to any of you. A lot of people are actually worried about the guy that beat him in the primary. They're saying he's part of the good old boy network, and I'm like, we'll see. Let's check it out. Just because he's got some family roots doesn't mean he's going to be like some old people. Let's give him a shot. Because the guy we got right now, and I'm really upset by the guy because the guy came from an army background, colonel, MP, the whole 9 yards. Right? I could never get the guy to talk to me, and I had legitimate concerns, and I did not go crazy Charlie on him. I went business Charlie on him, and couldn't get him to talk to me. And his people were garbage. So yeah, it's a thing. Ain't no sheriff like Grady Judd. You ain't lying. That dude, kind of like that guy. He's straight up. He's bat crazy. Hang on, Bear Hunter. Let me. I'll look it up, brother. Nope, that's the wrong button. Bear with me. Got to pull up my Audible account. I don't remember. You know what's funny? I don't remember author names. I remember everybody else's name that I got to introduce Jeff to. Library, commune. Joshua Gayu? Gayu? That's funny. See, you just triggered the 12-year-old. There you go. Yeah, check it out. I think it's pretty good. Mike had been trying to get me to listen to that for a while and finally just sent me the darn book. And I was in my list and I had 3 stacked up and I'm like, all right, I'm on it finally. It was awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. So Chris Hamilton, Swift guys, last week to use the SwiftCom data at the QT. We'll see. We'll see. There's an awful lot going on around that right now. There's a lot of things going on. There's a bunch of people who said, "Why are you guys going to poke them about it?" And we're like, "Well, we're just expressing our displeasure with the decision that was made that affected us so deeply, so many of us."
So this is one of those things, guys. I cannot control what Swift does with their business.
Right.
What I can control is my actions. So if you're at Swift and you don't like what Swift is doing with that, what you can do is let them know that you're displeased. I've seen a lot of stuff on the Facebooks about it in Swift groups. I know that a few of you guys have actually called them and said, "Hey, what's this BS?" You know, that's what you do. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I'm kind of hoping that this incident is opening some people's eyes as to the reality of the business they're in. Swift is not a charity, guys. They're there to make money just like you are.
Absolutely.
So how you run your business is what's important. Now get your own fuel card. You know that we like the ES card. Mud flap. There's all sorts of different ways to buy fuel out there. Don't be slave to that Com Data card that Swift issued you. They absolutely make money on your fuel purchases when you buy fuel using that card. So just be aware. You know, that was the thing that brought Charlie and I to ES, was when we saw what kind of discounts that Swift was getting, that they were not passing through to us. And the answer we got from Swift is, well, then go get your own discount. Okay, we did. So, you know, when I was there, Swift, the Com Data card did have its place, you know, for like the QTs, right? I use my ES card most of the time. And that's, you know, one of the things, Charlie, that we like about the ES card. Unlike other, like, I don't know, Nastics out there, they don't care how much you use their card. You don't have to use it 70% of the time like you do with other cards. It's just, you know, when it makes sense, you use it. When it doesn't, you don't. And that's it. They don't care. And the discounts we've seen through them are better than most. Since we haven't researched all 200 million of them, however many there are out there, I can't honestly say that the best. You should absolutely just use this card. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying it's a good tool. It's a good tool to have in your toolbox. You know, it is a prepaid card. They do have credit options, but we believe in the prepaid method. Because you know our opinion on credit. It just when you introduce credit in your business, you increase your risk, and we're risk averse. If you want to learn more about business credit, though, and how to use it well and with purpose, we do have a podcast where we talk to Colton Lawrence, the Trucker CFO, about the how to build and use business credit. And I think we said this when it first aired, the week that it went up, but I'll say it again. We learned stuff from that conversation that we didn't know. So
the link to our podcast is down there in the bottom, or anywhere that you get your podcast. You could be able to find us. Just look up Road Warrior Entrepreneurs, and you'll find our podcast there. But you can go to Pod Wheels right there and look through the catalog there, and you might enjoy that. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff. Apologize.
Oh, that's all I was saying.
And those of you who are asking about the book, I put the link in the chat. You should be able to click that link. I think maybe that's a direct link to the Audible link. Love my Audible account. They should give me money, because I'm always telling people, God, I love Audible. Like I live on that app. I'm either on the phone, in a store delivering goods, or listening to Audible. And there's times like sometimes Jeff will call me. He's like, "Hey man, we got to talk." And I'm like, "Hang on, bro. I got another chapter I want to get through. I'm almost done with this book." And I know it makes him crazy, but that's okay.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Book.
Oh yeah. I wanted to get your reaction on the cliffhanger.
Oh, that's what I'll say. if you're relying on the calm data card, you're not looking out for your business. That's a I'm gonna say that's an okay statement. I can agree with part of that, but let's back up just a little bit, okay?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And let's remember that there are an awful lot of people that are just starting out. Now,
Yep.
I'm not saying they're starting out the right way, but I'm saying that they're starting out on a soft foot.
Right.
And they simply can't fund a card. I believe we have ways to help them fund that card, especially when they're saying, "Hey, we're going to give you 4 weeks of no payments to start with." I'm saying take that truck payment
Put it on the
right
card.
out of your settlement for the first 4 weeks and put that on the card. Bam, funded, done, ready to go. Getting people to do that, pulling teeth out of a grizzly bear, man.
Oh
Just
yeah.
saying, it's tough. But so that's where I'm backing up just a little bit, only to say that some people absolutely, through their choices as of this moment, are trapped there. Okay.
Mhm.
And I think that of course Swift has every right to turn on and off whatever stations they want. I I
Yeah.
get
One of the things on social that I was commenting on, Charlie, was, well, how can they do that? Do they own com data? Somebody actually asked that, and I'm like, well, no, they don't own com data, but they do. It is their account, right? So the way com data works, for those of you that don't know, is Swift pays for the fuel up front, and then they get reimbursed through your settlement
right,
each week. So they're fronting you that money.
right,
And that was one of the things that Charlie and I, we figured, hey, convenience, they're fronting us the money. We don't have to worry about it. It's just a convenience fee, right? We knew that they were making money.
right,
We just didn't know how much.
right. But we have been very vocal with the folks that are running the show at on Swift's end. Not sure some of them are real happy with us.
Yeah,
So, Craig, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to leave it there just for a minute. We'll come back to that. But it's a thing. I know how you love to track that one. But we are definitely sharing your opinions. And Craig did a good thing. Craig said, "Hey guys, why don't we go share our opinion?" And people started doing that. And I think everybody should do that. And Craig went as far. I know Craig sent email to Adam Miller.
hmm
Craig reached out to everyone that he could reach out to on this subject and has expressed his opinion and what he feels about it. And I don't think Craig is wrong in his opinion. I understand why they're doing what they are trying to do. I don't think it's going to work.
No.
I just don't think they're going about it the right way either. But again, their business. I have a disagreement with the way that they're doing that part of the business. Is it going to make me leave? Nope. I get it. I understand. I totally 100% understand the move they're making. They're trying to make money for their business. That's what a business is there to do.
Yep.
I think that they're doing it on the backs of people that they shouldn't be doing it on.
So I'm going to put it out there, Charlie, that the comments that I vehemently disagree with, that I'm seeing, oh, Swift's just ripping us off. I
Right.
don't think so. I think it's just business, man.
Yep.
I mean, really, one of the things that we do, and I just had a meeting with a fleet owner to help him with his people, and he's dealing with the same thing that we've seen over and over again, Charlie.
Yeah.
People don't understand basic business, right? Um,
Right.
he
And that
has
is
a
absolutely the problem.
100% contractor model for his fleet, and he gets these people in, and they don't understand the numbers. They don't understand that this is business, and that you have to look out for yourself as a business owner. Um, that's the first step, man. That's why we. That's why in the community, especially me, I focus on that mindset of being an entrepreneur, understanding you need to have these business skills. You need to learn how to manage your expenses. You need to learn, you know, there's a time when calm data does work for you, and there's times when it doesn't. Swift is good at doing the same thing in their boardroom, right? They're deciding, okay, we can make money here, and that's good for our shareholders. We can make money over here, that'll make the stock go up. Oh, don't do that, that'll make the stock go down. It's a little different because they're a publicly traded company, so it's harder for them to make moves. It really is. They are beholden to their stockholders, their shareholders. That's who they truly work for. For you and I, the little one truck operation guys, we are the company. I'm beholden to Donna because she owns half my company.
Right.
But that's it. We don't really vote on anything. We discuss things, and then we make a move, right? But there, the point is the same though. We're trying to make money for our family. They're trying to make money for their shareholders. It's just business.
Acceleration rules. I can't put your comment up because of our own preferences. But I'm going to address that in just 1 second. TK, yeah, I've learned that I need to get my own card. This company does that as well with the FS. Yeah, like TK's company, they only get to fuel at Pilot Flying J's, I believe it was. And that's the only place they can use that company's fuel card. And he's a contractor. That's just how they have it set up. I mean, it would work at so many truck stops, but they have all the other stops turned off.
Mhm.
That's fine, whatever. I mean, it's a choice you make. Acceleration rules. I'm gonna go back to you here. I'm gonna try and change.
Just take the F-bomb out.
Yeah. The excuse for messing people over and saying it's just business is BS. Learn how to mess people over equals business owner. I don't think that that's right, man. I think that I think that what you have is an employee view of a business. Right. If you want to control everything, I don't believe that they're screwing people over. I believe that is not their intention. They did not go into this saying, hey, let's screw over the contractors. That was not the intention. It may be a side effect, but they're also looking. There are 500 of us, to my knowledge, that are using con data at the QTs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they saw a way, they saw a line where they weren't making money from the fuel. And part of the business model is there is a component where they make money from the fuel purchases because they are financing that fuel purchase if you use their card.
Right.
And they said, hey, let's go try and capture some revenue there, and let's get a QT to cut a discount. And, if we get enough discount, we'll kick these guys back a 5-cent rebate like we do with the other 5. And we'll come for ourselves for our own profit line. I get that. I think it sucks, but that's business. You think that it's BS, and it's, look, there are a lot of businesses out here. They're in business to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Some choose not to do it on the backs of others.
Now, here's the other thing that could happen, though, and this is where we do appeal to our people on the show, people in the Facebooks. If they start losing too many contractors because of stuff like this,
right,
there's going to be a discussion at the C-suite level. Why are we losing contractors? And then they're going to ask us. I mean, let's be real, Charlie. They're going to ask you, why do you think we're losing contractors? Well, it's this QT thing.
Yep.
Is that all it is? Well, shoot, we made a mistake. We've seen them back off on things before, because it's a contract, right, guys? We're in business. They're in business. We have a business to business contract. If you don't like the contract, what do? You sever ties with that business and you go find a contract more to your liking. If that happens too much and it puts their owner operator division in jeopardy, they're going to have to revisit that. And this is where the education comes into play. I'm going to play the other side here real quick. How does Swift get away with this? A lot of it, Charlie, is because people don't know. People don't know the details of their own contract. People don't know that the fuel purchasing is part of Swift. It's a line item on Swift's revenue side. They don't know that. If people knew that, maybe they would do something different in their business. So there's nothing in the contract that says you can't go get your own fuel card, that
So
you can't use mud flat, that you can't do this, you can't do that. So
So acceleration rules. Let's offer these lower prices by skimming our owner operators' money is not legit. So here's the thing about that. Almost every fuel card out there that is available on the market, almost every single one, okay, has
skims.
negotiated prices. And let's say they negotiated $1 off the fuel price at Skippy's truck stop. At Skippy had your money, right? And you use their fuel card, and the discount you're going to see, maybe you see that it's only 95 cents, maybe you see that it's 50 cents, but they negotiated $1. Almost every single fuel card out there has a deal like that, and they say this is your discount. Everybody's like, this is a great discount. What you don't realize, and you ain't mad at, is that they're making money because they negotiated $1 off, and they're pulling 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents off of what you're paying. That's how they make their money. They went out, they negotiated that, they pulled in their power. As far as a company doing that, again, a company like Swift floats and finances the fuel purchases for their contractors utilizing the Condata card. And we have contractors out there who honestly haven't even had a break-even settlement in weeks for whatever reason, right? For various reasons. And which means Swift has not been paid back for those fuel purchases that they've made to do those, whatever they've done. They're financing that. There's a cost to finance. There's a cost to someone using someone else's money. I get that. I don't agree with all of it, or to the extent of that some of these places do that. But what did I do? Went out and got a different fuel card. I built, relationships at other places where we have access to other sources to fund the fueling. Right? I use Condata a lot. Right now, almost exclusively. In fact, right now, exclusively. Right? It's just a matter of circumstance.
Right.
Lots of hits to the pocket lately. Other things that I put money towards, and I'm paying for that convenience. I'm absolutely looking at it as a convenience charge. It's a thing. That's number like 7, by the way.
And I'm going to be the mean guy right now.
Go for it.
For acceleration rules, and I realize that this sounds harsh. Again, you're thinking like an employee, not a business owner.
Right.
You really are. Business is all about relationships, negotiated contracts. Let's take the argument that I see all the time on the Facebooks. There needs to be transparency with brokers. Get the hell out of here. I'm just going to say it. Get the hell out of here. That is not, man, that to me, that's bordering on unconstitutional. Seriously. What business is it of mine what you make? None. So let's take this to the logical extreme of where it could go. Okay, let's say there's complete transparency with brokerages, right? Okay, I want to see your P&L acceleration rules before I'll do business with you, because I want to know how much money you're making. And you're only allowed to make $1 a mile profit. We're going to cap your income. That's what you're saying to brokers. We're going to cap your income. Get out of here. Seriously. These arguments, I'll say this too, and I'm probably going to lose half of you now.
We're at the end of the show. It's okay.
Enough with the victim mentality, man.
I'm not a victim.
I see an issue as an entrepreneur. I'm going to solve that issue for myself and my customers. That's what I do. Um, and that's business, man. You don't like something, then you sever the relationship. Try not to burn the bridge though, because maybe they change, or
That's
maybe
right. Burn the boats, not the bridge.
right. Now, when I left Swift, I didn't burn the bridge. I definitely burned my boats, but I didn't burn the bridge.
Mike Anderson, he gets it. Half that fuel is going to be water at Skippy Has Your Money truck stop.
That's right.
That's legit too, right there. I think it's going to be 3/4 water, but oh my gosh, you
Can I
guys!
interest you in a ground floor opportunity with Skipway?
Yes, Skipway is the thing. Oh my gosh. You guys, seriously, I hope you guys have enjoyed the discussion. We are coming up on this 2-hour mark. In fact, we are at 8:00 even now. One last thing here. Bear Hunter, they said it. If you quit using it at all, they feel it, then the table will be open for negotiation. Absolutely. If you don't like what they're doing with their fuel card, get your own fuel card.
Right.
That is your option. You absolutely have that ability to go do that. And if you don't, talk to us. Come see us over at rwedrive.com and we can talk about ways to help you get there. Yeah, Bear Hunters, it's legit. I'm a victim of my own device, and I'm bouncing back from now. He made some hard choices, and it's his thing.
Oh, and hey, if any of you feel like I've been harsh in this episode, you're probably right. But talk to Bear Hunter. He has gotten the full Jeff over the last year. But I think that what he'll tell you is he's made some changes, and they're good changes. He's on a good path. He's on a different path than he was 2 years ago, and he's on the up and up.
I may do a video out there at the peak of the storm. I'm not promising anything. I may take the GoPro out there or something. Wait, I'll use my new fancy phone. It's waterproof, right?
No, take the GoPro and do the wide fisheye lens.
All right.
Yeah.
Shaking fists at the sky. And I have a conversation with this guy. I'm just saying. Hey, Bitcoin John, real quick. Have you thought about ways to make Swift more money? What about making yourself more money? Absolutely. Look, most of the things that I do, I try to find win-wins.
Yep.
I try to operate in a win-win environment. I don't like win-lose operations. There's a lot of people out there operating in a win-lose situation. I don't dig it. It's not my thing. I understand it. It's definitely a way to operate. I like to figure out ways to win-win. Jeff and I are real big on win-win.
Win-win or no deal.
Jeff is mean. I like that. Me and Jeff can disagree, but it doesn't affect our friendship. Absolutely. All right, guys. You guys, good night. Kathy, be safe. Everyone out there, be safe. If my nephew happened to catch the end of this, love you. Thanks for checking in. My people in Oregon, we're good. We're not leaving the house until the trees fall on our house. I can't help it. Chainsaw's ready. Got some extra chains. Got lots of fuel. We got food. Everything's packed up. Tomorrow, we're actually going to load up our pickup trucks with all the essentials that we need. If we have to bug out, we have ways to get out to our property, and we'll just go hang out until the sun comes up out there, and then we'll come back and put things together. Appreciate everybody's thoughts in this. Jeff, you be safe up there, man. People are acting a fool. You know the deal. Everyone else down here in the Florida area, you guys be safe. Check in. Call the people you love. You never know. Just saying. Call the people you love right now. You hang up with this, call someone, tell them, remind them that you love them. If you haven't done it today, do that. You never know. It could be whatever. I'm not going to go there. Craig, I will, buddy. I appreciate you guys. Jeff.
Keep that rubber side down. You know it.
Guys, take care of each other. No one's out here taking care of us but us. We'll see you next week right here on the show, 6 p.m. Eastern time, for those of you who didn't know. Don't forget to hit the thumbs, subscribe, all that good stuff. I want to see 20,000 subs tonight. Max Velocity. Can you imagine? Oh, look, I just got a notification. I think he's doing something right now. Anyhow, go check out that dude, Max Velocity. He's awesome. Tell him that we mentioned him on the show. I'm just saying. Anyhow, whatever. Maybe we can get 2 subs out of that. That'd be great. Whatever. We're out of here. You know what? I'm gonna do a thing. And Jeff, I'll call you after. It's because the show's not gonna end. We're not gonna have the free time because I didn't do this at the beginning. I'm gonna do it now. And we're gonna do a real thing because I feel the need to do this. Love you guys. Be safe.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.